This is it. Your chance to show your skills to the automotive world. You'll be up against some of the best racing talent there is, so you'll need to fight for every position. Results matter, and mistakes will be costly. It won't be easy, but if you want to become the ultimate driver, you'll need to earn it every step of the way. Get out there and prove yourself.
Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here on the all-new Project Cars 3. Yes, we're here back with a new game coming. Obviously, like I said yesterday, the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode Season 3 will be a bit delayed till tomorrow, but obviously make sure you do get yourself subscribed for that as well. But yeah, before we jump into this though, a big thank you to the team over at Slightly Mad Studios, as well as obviously Codemasters, for sending me out an early version of this game to obviously play for you guys. I'm really looking forward to this. Project Cars 3, you know, very different to the first two Project Cars games that we've seen in the past. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a refresh of an old system that has worked in the past. So yeah, really looking forward to jumping into this game here today, and obviously over the coming weeks and months as well. You know, really I've sort of come into this with no idea as to what to expect as well. But yeah, really excited to be diving into this. There is a lot of career mode on this game already by the look of it. You see, we've got to make our way through the road categories from Road E up to A, and then you move up into hypercars, and then you've got some GT racing as well. Obviously, a very big part of Project Cars 2, and then even some bonus content as well later on down the line. So there is plenty to be getting through here on Project Cars 3, and today we're going to kickstart our career mode then in the Road E class of vehicles.
4 tours that climax with a championship event. To unlock championships and new tours, complete the career objectives in the individual events.
So there we go then, we've got 4 events, so we need to try and get, 2 of the, I'm trying to think of the name for them, almost like the AIM stars, or whatever you want to try and call them, on this game. So yeah, I've got 3 races to kick us off then. In the Road E Basics, we've got a race Shanghai Nights, we've got Havana Laugh, and Bannochbrae Heart as well. So out of those 3, you know, 3 fictional tracks, if you will. But 3, I've driven Bannochbrae before. I love that track, so we're definitely going to dive into that. But we are going to be doing this on the wheel as well. Obviously, I know there's sort of been this discussion about whether the game is just geared more towards the pad, but I've given it a quick go on the wheel before we dive into this, and it does still feel very good with my Fanatec. So yeah, hopefully this goes alright. But anyway, let's dive in then here for our first race on Project Cars 3 from the Shanghai Henan Loop. So here we go then, first race of our career.
It's for real now. So take a quick look at the event details and objectives, then hit race to dive into the action.
So we have picked up our first car on the game. We've got a beautiful Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6. I absolutely love this thing with the Rally Art paint schemes. We get 1 of the objectives. If we finish, we get 5 clean overtakes within 1 second and master 3 corners for all of the objectives here. So let's dive into this then. First race ever on Project Cars 3 in the campaign. I'm really looking forward to this. Sort of the pre-release stuff that we've seen did give me some Race Driver Grid vibes. Obviously the new Grid game that came out at the end of last year, which I did really enjoy whilst I was playing it. But yeah, hopefully Project Cars 3 is going to be just as exciting here. I know a lot of people, there's sort of been this discussion about the change of direction from Slightly Mad Studios, but you know, if you can make your game more accessible for more people, that's good marketing and business at the end of the day, you know, and that's exactly what games are trying to do as well here. So welcome to China then, here in Shanghai. Let's just dive right into this then. You can see we've got some Honda Civics, an Audi TT, and then myself as well. I think we've actually got 16 cars on the grid ready for this one. Difficulty-wise though, we're not running any assists whatsoever. I might actually get rid of the track guide. We'll keep braking markers on, just because obviously I don't know this track at all here. And then AI settings, we'll up that to we'll up it to hard for this first race. With medium aggression as well there. So let's dive right into this. Hopefully we can keep it nice and clean in our first race. Then we are in cockpit cam. It's 3, 2, 1. And it's going to be lights out. And away we go, ready for our very first race then. Here on Project Cars 3. Not getting off to the best getaway in the world. Forgot to put the car into gear as we head down in towards turn 1. We've got 16 cars on the grid ready for this race as we head down into the first corner. Let's just try and keep it nice and tidy. Oh, already. Back end just snapping out a little bit there, trying to get a little bit loose and lively in the car. But yeah, it's nice. Obviously, I'm actually recording this on the PlayStation 4. Obviously, normally I play on Xbox. But yeah, this one I was able to get a PS4 copy of the game as everyone just going to be Constantina and up as we head into what appears to be a roundabout style section. Still getting a little bit loose. We'll try and make some clean overtakes work. Able to get the power down on the exit. A bit of a squeeze behind all the Civics as locking up the front brakes there. It's nice to see, you know, you can still sort of snag the brakes, struggle a bit with the traction, everything like that. You know, you can just feel, oh god, getting a little bit loose there. That's fair to assume. But yeah, anyway, just nice to feel, you know, there are still some, you can feel what the car's doing underneath you. This is sometimes what I've noticed with sort of more arcade games, is then you've really got no idea what the car's sort of doing. And it's, yeah, rather difficult to be able to create a game where it's still fairly forgiving. That's probably the best way, and, you know, sort of not super realistic, but still able to let the driver know exactly what the car's doing underneath them. You know, you can feel sort of the tyres moving around and everything like that here as we head through what I thought was a rather fast chicane. Not quite the case, as we've just got a sea of Honda Civics just in front of us. Still getting a little bit loose. Is this thing a bit all over the shop? As I think we're nearing the end of the first lap. It is a 2-lap race here around Shanghai. Just look how incredible the game looks. And obviously all the graphics and everything like that. That is one thing Cody's always seem to get right, is the graphics on their game as we wallop the wall on the exit of the corner there. So we have survived just about the first lap then of this race. So we're still in P5 at the moment, so we need to try and make some more overtakes work if we can, coming down in towards turn 1. Just, still, the back end really does like to break loose just a little bit here, but we are going to get a much better run up the inside of one of the Honda Civics there. We've got a beautiful green one right in front of us. Looks good in the darkness there. As you can see now, TT going full send for the lead of the race. This is brilliant close action between absolutely everyone at the moment here as we try to get the power down. The TT just cuts in front of us there. We're going to stick it up the inside of him into the next corner, trying not to lock up the brakes as again the Civic just slamming the door shut on the exit of the corner. We almost go into the back of the other one there. We are now in the battle for the lead. We're going to get on the power so much earlier than the guy on the outside there, and we're now up into the lead of this race. Still getting a little bit lost as we're trying to learn this track still as best as possible here. Ride those sausage curbs as best as you can, but obviously the Evo, it's got some rally heritage, so you've got to be able to get the back end out here and there if possible as well. But yeah, let's see what time we can set then on this second lap. Just trying to keep it nice and tidy in towards the final few corners as we head out on towards the sort of seafront again, if you will, almost like onto a pier there. It almost feels like as we head out there. You can see we've got an XP counter at the top of the screen as well. Obviously, that's one of the new things that's come to Project Cars 3. So, you know, we'll be trying to perfect our races as best as possible as well here. As we head down towards the final corner, it's going to be the win in the first race of the day. Absolutely what you'd love to see. So, first race of the day done and dusted then, and we do get all 3 of the objectives as well. Finished the race, 5 clean overtakes within 1 second, and mastering 3 corners as well. Let's dive in then to race 2. You can see we've already got 229 PIR. Not 100% sure what that is at the moment there, but a 1:45.7 best lap there. I'm sure we can up the AI ready for the next one as well. Look at that, our beautiful Evo with the dubs there in the first race. It does look good in red. That is, there's no denying that. But our first win on the board. There's a lot of things to get done on Project Cars 3, and it's always that thing of when you start in a game, it just feels very, very overwhelming there. But we've already made it to level 1. 6,000 credits as well. Things you love to see. Here we are then, in Cuba, ready for the second race of the day then. I'm sure if you told someone when Project Cars 2 came out that Cuba, there'd be a racetrack in Cuba in the next one, they probably wouldn't believe you here. But yeah, anyway, diving into this though, obviously we can't afford to change the AI because we're not going up against anyone this time round. But we need to try and keep nice, clean laps. A 1:22 is the time to beat. I'm sure this first lap is just going to be sort of learning where the track goes as we head down in towards turn 1. Obviously, this is the great thing now with the brake markers here, obviously, to try and perfect your lines. We've got a tight hairpin through the first corner here, but the Evo does feel nice and planted through there. Should be able to get on the power nice and early, sort of ride the curbs through the next couple of corners, as well as we head now down what appears to be the back straightaway here, through another sort of fast sweeping chicane there, as you've really just got to be fully committed and brave that down into the next 90-degree left-hander. You're sort of getting very much almost sort of Forza Horizon vibes from this track at the moment here, but ooh, just catastrophic understeer, dink the wall. That was definitely a wall tap there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure that looked good for the spectators, but you can really just get the back end out. It is so satisfying to get it hooked up. When you get a little bit of a drift, it's always good in a four-wheel drive car. You can still get the power down on the exit, and sometimes you haven't lost yourself too much time as well. But anyway, in towards then, what I'm hoping is the final couple of corners of our outlap here. It's been a pretty tidy lap so far, and I think we're actually going to be able to get the goal as we head out of the final corner down towards the finish line. A 1:16 straight off the bat. Get in there. That is another 3 stars achieved. So we have now unlocked the final round of the championship from the Monument Canyon here, but we're going to head over to Bannochbrae in Scotland for the third race of the day here. Reach a top speed of 120, 8 clean overtakes and master 5 corners. We do know this track, so I'm rather looking forward to jumping into it as well. Let's head over to Scotland. Here we go then at Bannochbrae, one of my favourite tracks from Project Cars and Project Cars 2. It's just an absolute roller coaster around here, and I'm sure it's just going to be as good on Project Cars 3. We've only got 1 lap though, so we're going to have to make moves count nice and early on here, but we do know where we're going this time around, unlike the other 2 tracks. This is the Hakkinen edition of this car as well here, but the lights are going to be coming on then. It's 3, 2, 1, and it's lights out, and away we go here in Bannochbrae for the third race of the day then. Once again, not quite able to get down to the same sort of starts that the TTs are able to do around us. I think they are the RS versions, so 4-wheel drive and everything like that, as everyone just concertinaing up into the first corner. We're going to find an opening up the inside. That should be a couple of nice overtakes there straight off the bat, so that is exactly what we needed as we head down in towards the next corner. Oh god, that's a bit of a wallop. That's fair to us. Yeah, that was not my finest moment of driving. Just still struggling to get to grips with the car there. So we're going to try and get up and under this Honda Civic on the exit there. It just feels so much fun on this game. Oh god, still getting the back end out though. Every opportunity we get, we're going to try and get the back end out, I would have thought, around this track. But yeah, it just is so refreshing to play a game that is just a bit more casual. Obviously, the Formula 1 games, iRacing, everything like that I tend to play, obviously with the wheel, are a bit more, sort of realistic, and they just don't give you much room for having, sort of a bit of a laugh. And I think that's what Project Cars 3 has really tried to sort of just capture for itself as a bit of a dynamic change to the market. You can just have a bit of a laugh, chucking a Mitsubishi Lancer around the Scottish B road, and it is still, yeah, very, very fun there. So, we've already performed 4 clean overtakes as everyone just bunching up as we head out of here. Hopefully we can try and get the 120-mile-an-hour objective as one of the TTs gives a big, big squeeze. We do seem to have a bit better top end than the cars around us. There is the 120. We were a bit too focused on that though, rather than where we were going there. Forgot how tight that corner can be as now we head in towards the town here. Just still spending so much time on the opposite lot, getting all over the curbing, trying to look around the outside of one of the Civics here. This chicane is flat out, but you've got to be brave. Got to get very, very close to the wall, and it's certainly not side by side through there. We do get a monumental run, though, off the exit. That has definitely reminded me we need to up the AI for the next one, but still, even then, look at that. The AI, more than happy to try and hook it up right around the outside of you as we head down the hill in towards the final few corners of this lap here. Over the bridge we go. This thing just... the tail on it is hilarious. We've got all the objectives though, so now we just need to try and get to the flag. I'm a little bit surprised in all honesty that they aren't sort of win the races as well here. But anyway, let's see if we can get a bit of air. Yes, we definitely can. Not that I probably should have got it though, as still just opposite lock as we head through over the final bridge of the lap here. We're trying to master the corners as best as possible here. One more proper turn to go. Still struggling a bit with the understeer, but we get the power down on the exit out of the final proper corner then. And that was just a drag race to the line where the top end speed seemed to help us nonetheless there. And it's going to be win number 3 of the day. That's exactly what we needed there, and another 3-star objectives completed.
You were the best out there today, first class.
I am loving this game so far. It's just so different to anything else that I've really sort of driven in a very, very long time now. But anyway, that is the objectives once again completed. You can see our Evo is ahead of all the Honda Civics, and there's, sorry, no, it's not the TTSR, it is just the TTS Coupe here, and there was some GT86s in that race as well. Who knew that as well here? But yeah, 2 very good races, and obviously the Hot Lap Challenge completed. We've only got the finals to do, and we will have completed our first series here on Project Cars 3. But the final race then of the day is taking us to Monument Canyon here. I'm not too sure how we can have a look at what the other track is, but finished at least 5th in the championship, finished on the podium in 1 race and earned 15 championship points here. So we've got 2 races to finish us off, and then we will have completed the Road E-Basics before we can head into the Japanese Route Challenge as well here. Let's dive in then, ready for the final 2 races of the 20-car grids. This is going to be good. Here we go then, back in the US to finish off today's video. We've got 2 races here from the Canyon Run location, and I forgot to mention at the start as well, obviously this is being recorded in 4K 60, so obviously if you've got a 4K monitor, crank up that resolution on the video here. But anyway, we've got again, fairly similar cars. We've got R34s though, a Mustang 2+2 Fastback, and yeah, I think apart from that, all fairly similar stuff. Oh, we've got a BMW 2002 Turbos as well, so a nice little variety of cars then, ready for the final championship of the day. We're going to up the AI to very hard and the AI aggression up to hard. How many more are there? So we've got a little bit more wiggle room if we need to as well. We're going to go, yeah, with very hard AI for this one, and yeah, high aggression as well. Let's dive into this then here for the first of 2 races from the Canyons. So we need to bring home good points in the first race of the day. It's going to be 3 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. A couple of rear-wheel drive cars we should be able to get a bit of an advantage on. I'm hoping we can beat the R34s, because obviously they should be arguably the most similar cars to ourselves, as there's just cars everywhere through the first couple of corners. Everyone trying to go for big moves there. A couple of Mustangs just around us, clearly got a bit of pace towards the top end there as they're going to try and look up the inside. But so far, I've loved every track we've raced at today as we accidentally go into the back of the Mustang. Look at the views around the canyons here, just everyone. I mean, we should be concentrating on the road, but we're admiring the views as well here. Is in towards another chicane. Just through here, just trying to keep it nice and tidy. Get on the power on the exit. That's where we seem to be a little bit stronger than a fair few of the AI. Obviously, with the 4-wheel drive platform we've got underneath us, you know, we can afford to be a little bit early on the power, and you know, the car will work with us to make it happen as well. 3 wide as we head through the hairpin, as we seem to be on a little bit of a switchback road now, up the other side of the mountain. This is just what the Evo was sort of designed for. Only thing that would have made it better if it was all on gravel as well. Snagging the brakes as we almost go into the back of the Audi TT. Still just able to get the back end going. It's just hilarious how this thing is. It's like a happy dog. You just get the back end, the tail wagging, and it just so definitely clearly wants to do it as well here. And you know, old Project Cars games, that would have been impossible. They weren't designed for you to be able to drift on. But Project Cars 3, I mean, I think we've already proven it today, just how much you can get the back end sort of wobbling around this way and that, and you can snap it back into line when you need to as well. You know, when you're done with your fun, it just then gets back in order, and you can carry on racing, because that's exactly what we're doing at the moment. We're up into 2nd or 3rd place, or I should say. Look at that, the skyline, a massive wobble through the first couple of corners. Very, very few games have been this fun, just to sort of chuck a car into a corner and hope that it sticks and come out the other side. You just seem to be able to just look everywhere. It's just wobbling around. It is hilarious fun as something a little bit different here. But we need to get our head down. We need to focus on trying to get up into the lead of the race here. We're going to try and go slow in, fast out through the chicane there. That's exactly what we've done. Still, even then, the back end all over the shop, but we're now up into the lead of this race here. Let's see if we can just try and bring it to the flag here as we snag the front brakes still. It's nice to know you can still sort of do that with the car. How even when you can sort of pinch the front brakes and all of that, just try and get it snapped into line here. Down in towards the next hairpin though, what are we going to be able to do? Just nice and late on the brakes, trying not to lock at the fronts as much as we have been doing. You know, luckily no tyre wear. Obviously, normally, yeah, a bit, you know, a nice feature to have on a game, but still, you know, we can shred rubber and know it doesn't really cost us all too much as well here. Oh my, that's a bit optimistic. That was rather optimistic into there. I'm sure that'll buff out, get some turtle wax on it. That'll be fine. But anyway, in towards the final couple of corners then of the first race of the championship. It's been, again, a right laugh. You know, I don't think I've finished a race yet on this game with that smile on my face, but we're going to have to up the AI again for the second race of the day. But that's one win on the board to finish off Season 1. So the team rather happy with that one as well, as I'm very much sure. But one win on the board, that is going to be full 25 points. It's obviously using the Formula 1 system. No bonus for fastest laps, however, sadly. Unless... no, I don't think so. As well, but yeah, 20 cars in this race. Anyway, let's dive in then to the second race. Final race then of the day here from the Canyon Run. And hopefully, once again, we can finish it like we've started, like we've continued to do, with some good dubs here. We're going to up the AI to Pro for this one, so I think the second highest AI difficulty that we can use on the game. We're going to keep the aggression at high as well, but hopefully in the final race... oh, it's in the wet if I'm not mistaken. It said it was raining. It doesn't appear to be, but yeah, anyway, let's just see if we can get one more win on the board here. It's going to be lights out, and away we go, off to one of our best starts I think we've had so far on the game, but obviously once again starting alongside the Mustangs does allow us a bit of a better opportunity. Oh, someone tried to turn on me there. We almost get put round through the first corner, but again, you got a pretty good chance of saving it on this game. I don't know how obviously that'll be on the controller, but certainly on the wheel you've got a little bit, yeah, there's certainly some opportunities to be doing that. But I think we have got, well, obviously unless we fail this final race, we should have got both the other objectives as well here as well. We're going to try and have a bit of a send up the inside of the Honda Civics. No way we're going to get the room there in this sort of racing. You can just see everyone not willing to give an inch here as we just taking a bit of gravel. That's where the Evo wants to be at the end of the day, as we are not making much progress in this second race, sorry, of the day. We do need to be a little bit more aggressive with the AI. Did we get a slowdown? I think we got a slowdown there, so we're down to P14 of this race. There's another Evo. We finally have a friend in the Evo, but it is now raining as well, so I think the front and rear wheel drive cars are going to struggle even more in comparison to ourselves. But let's just see then what the wet physics are like in comparison to the dry. I can already feel the car slipping and sliding around just a little bit more through the final corner there, but we're going to need an absolute worldie of a second lap here to be able to get the car to where we should be if we obviously want to win this championship. Luckily, everyone is still rather bunched up. Holy moly, that was definitely the biggest wobble I think we've had so far in the car. Luckily, we can just tap the clutch, build up some revs once again in it as we head down the hill once more. I'm going to have to go for a bit of a cheeky send. Oh, that's not the send I had in mind. A lot of aggression there between myself and a couple of the other Evos, but again, we're not going to worry about it all too much. We are not having a good race, though, to finish off the day. Perhaps the very hard AI, maybe a little bit too challenging for myself there. It's the TT. Mate, you've got to give us some room. Just no quarters given from him, but we need to try and make up some places. We're down in P16. This is not going to be good enough to win the championship if we finish here. We're going to need to be brave through the final couple of corners. Every position does matter here. Holy moly, that's a drift through the final corner. But even then, able to hold on to it in the end. We're not going to get the run off the exit of the corner. P15 was certainly not a good enough result to win the championship, I don't think, there. But still, that has been hilarious fun to... well, we're going to give that a restart quickly. I want to win this. I'm very much like that on these games there. We'll drop it back down to... Yeah, we'll drop it back down quickly to very hard, just in case. Struggle to make the progress we needed on the opening lap there. And, you know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist with this sort of thing. But anyway, lights out, now where we go then. For our second attempt of the final race of the day here. You know, we want to finish off with a bang here. Now, obviously, we know what the wet physics are like, as again, that Mustang tried to give us a bit of a squeeze through the first corner, not afraid to turn in on us as we head up the hill, just nice and late on the brakes, try and hog the inside lane there. We've just about done it, but everyone seems to be able to get on the power so early on the exits. I think these modern cars definitely got a bit more top end than ourselves in the classics as we head down the hill. I think this thing's got just under 300 horsepower, and the Civics, yeah, probably about the same, but much more sophisticated technology on the modern cars here. As we try to have a look up the inside, we've got someone still, though, on the inside of us. There are just Civics everywhere around this trackers. Come on, try and get the run around the outside, just using up all the track width as we can. But yeah, this time around, a little bit of a better start then, up into 6th place before the end of lap 1. Let's just see if we can keep it tidy, as now the rain starts to set in once again. Holy moly, that's, yeah, a little bit loose and lively through the final corner. It seems the AI definitely have the edge in the rain over myself. Probably our lack of talent that's doing that more than anything else, as once again just going to run a bit wide through the first couple of corners, struggling to get the power down as we head up the hill for the second time and final time in this race. Just try and get the car working how we need it. You know, we need to absolutely rev it out, everything like that, get all the power that we can from the mighty Mitsubishi here. As down the hill we go, all very, very aggressive once again. Just try and keep it pointing in the right direction though, which we have been able to do this time round, but only just. The back end's still all over the shop as we head out onto one of the bridges once again. We need to get a good run here on a couple of the Civics. There we go, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Round the outside of 1. Might be able to make it 2 as well here, as it's a bit of a drag race between myself and P4. Can we have a sneak up the inside? No, the green one just tries to slam the door shut, but still it will just be a little bit braver on the exit there. In towards the inside for the final corner, but not quite able to get the send up into P2, but I think it should be P3, so drag race to the line. I think we just held on to P3 in the end, which might be good enough for the title. Yes, it was just P3. That must have been an incredibly close finish. 1/100th of a second separating myself and Nick Pope there at the end of the day. But it is Pressburg winning in the Skyline there, so a very, very quick car. Tom Brown in second and myself in P3 means, what does that mean for the championship? Hopefully we've done enough to hold on to it in the end. We'll wait and see. No! Unfortunately, Pressburg did just beat us there. We needed Tom Brown to have finished second in that first race of the day. But still, despite not winning it, I'm certainly leaving with a smile on my face. Project Cars 3, a very, very different game to the predecessors. There is no denying that, but still an absolute laugh. It is just, it's nice to play a game that's a bit more casual as well at the end of the day. You know, it is just a laugh, and that is sometimes good to enjoy as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you get yourself subscribed, and I'm sure we will be back very, very soon with more of our Project Cars 3 Let's Play. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.